Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie Kelly, and I am so glad that you're here. Whether you're a busy mom working full time or just tired of feeling stuck in jobs that don't value you, don't respect you, or whatever the case may be, I see you because I was you at one point. Before I became the owner of a nationally recognized drug and DNA testing training program, I worked for Child Protective Services as a caseworker for many years, and I watched parents who suffered from substance abuse and addiction get treated badly, 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 y'all, at the local drug testing clinics. When I had my daughter, I decided that it was finally time to make a dramatic change and start working for myself. That's when my CPR training business in Kelly Lab was born. I was no longer overworked and underpaid. Today, Kelly Lab has gone nationwide, providing collection services all across the United States. And through my robust training program, I train and certify over 500 students every year in DOT drug testing collections and DNA specimen collections. And I've helped hundreds of women, especially Black women, step into entrepreneurship without needing a degree or a medical background. That is not required to do this, y'all. So let me show you how this business has changed my life and how it can change yours too. This all started for me in Indianapolis, Indiana. I now live out here in the sunny state of California. I got an office space right away for Kelly Lab because I knew that I was going to get the drug testing contract to do collections for CPS, basically for parents who were suffering from substance abuse and were court ordered to get random drug tests. I wanted a piece of that contract. So I knew that I was going to have a location because when I was a caseworker, we were scheduling the parents to go to the different clinic locations around town. So I already knew I was going to need the office space. So I set it up. Got everything set up properly and contacted the lab that was holding the contract for the state of Indiana. Um, and this all stemmed from my work as a CPS caseworker. I watched the parents who were struggling with addiction get scheduled to go to these clinics, and the clinic staff had absolutely no compassion and did not care for those people at all. And it was affecting their ability to complete their services and be reunited with their children. I wanted to change the way that drug testing clinics were viewed because they had a very negative connotation with the clients. So I started my own and got the CPS drug testing contract right away. And this was a very major contract that changed my life. We were getting $350,000 annually to do collections on this contract. So with that, it required the office space that I had set up. So I invested in a very small office space on West 16th Street in Indianapolis, Indiana. And I believe my my two business signs are actually still on the building on West 16th Street. Honestly, those need to be taken down. But anyways, I got this little small office space. We had the waiting area, as you can see here. We had the check-in desk, and then my back office was used to primarily meet with DNA testing clients. Okay, so very small office space. So you don't need this big sprawling office to get started. And honestly, I do want to let y'all know you don't need an office space at all to do this business. So don't feel like you got to go out there and sign a lease right away in order to do this business. You do not need a location. You can do this 100% mobile. Okay. Honestly, I tell all of my students not to invest in an office right away. You should be mobile, a mobile collector for as long as you possibly can until you're making enough revenue and have a contract to support the expenses of a physical location. Don't y'all go out here signing these big old leases and having these monthly expenses. So it seems like you're not making enough money or you can't make ends meet because you got this big old office, but you have no clients. Make sure that you start off as small as you possibly can, you guys. It's all about saving money and using the money to live your best life, not to pay all of these expenses and bills. Okay. So once COVID hit, we were forced to move into another location to expand because of social distancing. So we moved into this old doctor's office space, and you can see it was much, much bigger than the space that we had when we first started. So at this point, we had gotten a bigger piece of the CPS contract that required us to incorporate mobile services into the business. So at that point, I had to hire collectors, mobile collectors. I got Ford Escapes for all of my mobile collectors to drive to go ahead and go and do the drug testings. And then I stayed back at the physical location running collections at our physical location as well. So this business can grow into something bigger. Okay. But you have to start small and grow your business. You don't need to start at my location number two. Okay. Because a lot of people go out there and they want to start here with all of this all at once. And then you got all these expenses and all these bills, and you're not making enough money. And then it becomes overwhelming. Now it doesn't work. Now you're trying to add in all these different services to try to make up the difference. And it's not necessary. You just start small and you build your business like I did. I started very small, very humble, and then it grew into this beautiful thing that we see today. Okay. So that's a little bit about my story. Now, let's talk about the money because that's what everybody wants to know. How much money could you possibly make in this industry? Okay. Now, I want to say this business is all about your drive, your mindset, and your ability to go out and get it by any means necessary. Okay. So if you're the type of person that wants to just sit back and think that everything's going to work for you just from you sitting there and opening the business, this is probably not for you because this requires you to go out and talk about your business. It requires you to go out, market your business. It's going to require some work. Working for yourself doesn't mean that you're taking a break. Working for yourself means you're working harder than you've ever worked before for anybody else. Okay, so I need you to understand that before getting into this. So in the first 30 days, I made about $3,000 to $4,000 profit, and that is because we were just starting, and people and clients were just coming in, and that is with marketing. Okay, I marketed this business heavily before I even started, before I even had lab accounts, before anything. I was marketing. I was telling everybody that I knew and people that I didn't know that we were starting a drug and DNA testing clinic. Okay, and it worked. Within 90 days, we were making about $8,000 profit. That means after all of our expenses, the take home pay was about 8 grand. Okay. And then from there, it just went up and up and up. And it started to get into $20,000 profit monthly because we had a major contract and we had several other agreements and contracts with employers. That requires you to go out and market to get to that point, though. And I do want to say this is absolutely a recession proof and pandemic proof business. During the pandemic, we made the most money that we have ever made because we were open. We are considered an essential service through pandemics and anything else because both of these services, drug and DNA testing, are required services. So that means your doors are never going to close because people have court ordered tests that have to get done no matter what is going on in the United States of America. Okay, so that means your business is never going to be shut down. Now, how do you make that money in this business? So, the first way is by contracting with labs. So, when you have a physical location, so if you start off with a physical location, you can get with companies like eScreen and FormFox, where you can be a part of their collection network. And a lot of the major employers like Walmart, Amazon, Lowe's, and the different logistics companies that are nationwide, they utilize the eScreen network. to find clinics in all 50 states to send their employees to because they're national companies. So if you want to be on a national provider listing or in the network, you will get with eScreen, but they require you to have a physical location in order to be a part of the network because those people are going to be coming in as walk ins. Those are their national client accounts. And the employers just log into the system and schedule their employees, their new hires, or their employees for randoms if necessary through the eScreen platform. So that's something you can be a part of if you have an office space to support that. And the same thing for FormFox. Now, mobile collectors, you primarily will need to go through a third party administrator or a TPA that is set up with a collection network as well. All Kelly Lab students get a direct referral to one of the top TPA companies in the United States that will help you open up your lab accounts. Okay. Because mobile collectors, you will not be able to go directly to the lab to open up your lab accounts because you're mobile and you're a brand new business. Okay. So you'll need the support or the backing of someone that's been in the industry for a very long time, such as Kelly Lab or other places. So Kelly Lab students get direct referrals through my partnerships with other TPAs to get your account set up. Okay, so you don't need to worry about how do you open your lab accounts. That's all included in the program. So to get paid, so let's say you get a physical location and you get set up with eScreen. So basically, they will pay you per screen, and it's a very small amount that they're paying you per screen. However, the volume makes up for the small amount that you're getting paid per screen. So eScreen pays about $10 to $25 per screen, depending on the type of test that you're doing for their national clients. Um, so it adds up very quickly because you could get into doing 20 to 30 people a day on this national account. So that's 20 to 30 people that are walking into your location a day to get drug screens. And then you're paid on a monthly basis um, for those screens that you've done through eScreen or FormFox or somewhere like that. Now, the second way that you can get paid doing your drug testing services is by contracting directly with third party administrators. Third party administrators are companies that are made to help employers with their drug testing programs. So, a third party administrator will write the policy, the drug testing policies for companies, and they also help the employer find good, reputable collection sites to send their employees to. Okay, so that's where you come in at as a collection site in the TPA's network to be selected for certain jobs, for certain collection jobs. So you definitely want to get hooked up with TPAs as much as possible and join all of their collection site networks so they can call you when they have work in your area. And most TPAs are nationwide TPAs, so they always have a constant flow of clients coming in and they just need the collectors, which would be you. Okay, so that's another way that you get paid through your TPAs. Now, yes, it does cost for you to set up these accounts through the TPAs. Most of them are under $300 to get started or get set up with them. And they also help you open your lab accounts as a mobile collector. Okay. So, like I said before, getting paid from the lab, if you do any type of work directly for a laboratory, directly, you will get paid on a monthly basis. They usually send out checks. I think some of them now send out checks twice a month, but normally it's every 30 days that you get paid for the screens that you've done for them. And that is a process where you're sending them an invoice with all the screens listed on it and then they're going to pay out that invoice to you directly. Most labs are still sending paper checks, or some of them might have direct deposit available for you as well. Now, DNA testing. DNA testing is a little bit more simpler because there's not a bunch of stuff going on with the lab accounts or setting up and getting paid or whatever. Your DNA testing is going to be paid. You're going to get paid from your clients directly. So There is DDC that has the collector program where you can do collections for them and get paid like $40 per collection. But I tell my students that's not the route that you want to take. You want to be a full blown DNA testing agency where you are collecting the funds from your clients and then you're turning around and paying the lab their fee that they're charging you to process the samples. Okay, so you're going to collect the funds from your client, they're going to pay you, and then you're going to pay the lab, and then you're going to send the results to your clients. Okay. Right now, though, it is a little difficult to set up lab accounts for DNA testing. That is why I took it a step further in my program and became a DNA testing TPA. And I have partnerships with two of the major AABB accredited labs in the United States to provide lab accounts to all of my students. So if you go through the Kelly Lab training program, you are almost guaranteed a lab account, your lab accounts for drug testing and for DNA testing through my program. So you're not going to have to worry about the stress of trying to get your lab account set up. As long as you follow the program requirements, then you will be able to get your lab account set up for your DNA and for your drug testing. So there are fees to set up your accounts. Once you've made it through the training and you set up your business properly, there will be a setup fee for you to set up your accounts. Okay. DDC only works with experienced collectors. Now, I do have a partnership with DDC to help newer collectors work with DDC, but that is under the Kelly Lab reseller program. Going direct to DDC is going to run you $750, and they usually only want to work with people who have some type of experience in the industry. Alliance DNA is another option. They have various package options ranging from like $500 to $850 in order for you to get set up with them. DNA Solutions, I'm not sure. I think their fee is still $40, but they do often have pauses on setting up new accounts for new collection sites. So it just depends on the time period and what they have going on and if they're accepting new accounts. Kelly Lab is always enrolling new collectors into the program. So if you go through my training program, you will be able to get your lab account set up as long as you finish the program requirements. So, how do you get paid for your DNA testing? The customer will pay you, let's say on average, $400 for a DNA test. Once they pay the $400 and you do the swabbing, you do their collection, you're going to have to pay the lab about $100 to $130, depending on your lab fees, to process the test. The rest of that is your profit after your other expenses that you have. On average, a newer collector could do between 5 and 10 tests a week or more. However, you got to keep this into perspective of how this can be life changing for you if you got into this. So, on average, across the United States, a legal DNA test runs about $380 to $400. With a lab account, you could be paying like maybe $100, $120 for a legal DNA test. So you do the 400 minus $100 or $120, your profit is going to be $300. I know there's a lot of people where 300 extra dollars a week could even be life changing for you, or it could allow you to do more things. Because a lot of people are barely making it or not making it at all. And an extra $300 by doing one DNA test a week could be life changing for you. So I said on average, you do 5 to 9 tests a week or more. Reducing that to just one test a week could change your life, could change certain people's lives because that's a whole $300 a week that you did not have before. And all you're doing is a simple 10 to 15-minute DNA test. Okay. This is a life changing opportunity, even if you only do one test. Okay. So I need y'all to understand the opportunity that is here for you. I'm telling you, when I discovered DNA testing, life changing, because at that point, my electricity bill was taken care of off of one test a month. Okay. My rent was paid for off of a couple of tests a month. So look at it from that perspective. If you see these numbers on here, you can see the potential for profit here. If somebody books a grandparent DNA test, that's even more money for you. So it just depends. And the sky is the limit on this. Okay. There's no tricks. There's nothing secret about it. This is literally how it works, you guys. The person pays you, you pay the lab, you get to keep the rest of the money. That's it. That's it. It's almost unbelievable. Now, how does this work though? Because the clients are not just going to magically fall out of the sky and hand you their money, right? You're going to have to go out and market. If you don't know anything about marketing, guess what? You don't have to know anything about marketing because I know everything about marketing these services and I'm going to teach you through my program. So, everything that I have designed and set up in the Kelly Lab training program is designed to take you from point A all the way to point Z. And point Z is you serving your first client. And we even go beyond that because I'm here to support you every step of the way through the business. Okay, so there is nothing that you need to worry about as long as you're in the Kelly Lab training program. I am going to show you everything that you need to know to make this work, including marketing. So if you don't know how to design your own marketing materials, you don't need to know that because I give you the free marketing templates. All you got to do is plug in your business information onto the template, get it printed through Canva, and boom, now you got marketing materials to pass out to businesses. I give you the scripts that you need to use to talk to different employers and other places that you need to go to market your services. It's a done for you service through my program. So, in order to get the money from employers, you're going to develop contracts or agreements with different employers in your local area. So, some of those people that need your services, colleges and universities, because they have nursing school programs, dental school programs, athletic programs that require those students to get drug tested. Okay. So, you can partner with the local colleges and universities in your area and do their drug testing services. Home care companies, home care agencies, all the staff need drug testings. So you can go and get major contracts. One of our biggest employer contracts was with the home care company in Indianapolis. Okay. Daycares, all daycare staff have to get drug tested. Warehouse employees, trucking companies, so you do DOT screens for them. There are just multiple opportunities to make money directly with businesses in your local area. So part of marketing is developing a marketing list and a marketing strategy. And I teach you how to develop a good marketing strategy to go out and market your businesses. And so if you enroll in my course, you also get access to the marketing tracker that I've used for years to keep track of my marketing efforts. So, you guys, everything is available to you through my program. So when you are getting paid from businesses, they are going to pay you per screen. So this is going to require you to invoice them through a payment processor. So a payment processor is like Square, Stripe, or PayPal. You're going to set up your Square account. It is free. And then you'll be able to send invoices directly to employers, and they're going to pay out the invoice for you to complete their services. Then you're going to pay the lab between $10 to $25 per screen, depending on your contract with the lab, to process your test through your lab account and generate your results. Okay, this usually includes the medical review officer services that are necessary to review your results before they're sent off to the employer. Okay. So this is how it works when you contract directly with an employer. Very simple process. You show up, you do the screens, you get paid, and then you pay the lab. That's it. The rest is your profit. Okay. And most drug screens run between $60, $70 to all the way up to $120, depending on the screen. Plus, you will be charging other fees. Okay. Administrative fees, mobile collection fees, on site fees. shy bladder fees. There's a lot of fees that you can incorporate into this business model that all employers are used to paying for your services. Okay, so it's not just what you're getting paid for off of the screens. You're also getting paid through your fees that you're going to charge for your different services. The biggest major money maker in this business is getting a contract with a state or county agency. Okay, so CPS, probation, like the Department of Corrections, the drug courts, child support for DNA testing. If you get into a contract with a state agency, it could change your entire life off of just that one contract like it did for mine. Now, part of getting the biggest piece of these state agency contracts is also becoming a certified woman owned, minority owned, disadvantaged business, okay, with your state. I also give you the resources and tools to get your certifications with your state because that's a major piece of it. So, getting paid from the state is usually on net 30 terms, meaning they pay you a certain amount of money every 30 days for servicing the contract. So, all the screens that you do in a 30-day period will be paid out every 30 days, basically. But it's a major piece of chunk of money, y'all, that you're getting paid every 30 days to service these state agency contracts. Another piece that's not on here is doing instant collections for employers. So you can also get paid from doing instant drug testing for employers. You set your own price. That's a very lucrative piece of the business because there's not a lot of lab fees involved because you're only sending the instant screens to the lab for confirmation testing if you get a non negative. Screen, meaning you get a positive screen, you have to send it into a lab for confirmation testing if the employer wants you to do that. So that would require you to have a lab account set up that would accept your instant screens for confirmation testing. So you can also do instant screens and make more of a profit off of your drug testing services as well. Now, let's talk about your expenses for this business because, yes, there are monthly expenses that you're going to have to pay for in order to run this business. So, mobile businesses, you're going to be paying for your professional address at a co working space because you have to get a professional address established. You cannot use your home address. And I have a direct affiliation and partnership with one of the national co working spaces in the United States where you can get a hefty discount on your monthly expenses with them. So I also have that available for all of my students as well. You're going to have to pay for your website hosting, your email. You need a professional business email. You need a professional phone number plus access to the app. And then, of course, you need your business insurance. This varies depending upon where your business is actually located. So it just depends. Is your business in an area where business insurance is high, like Texas? It's going to be a little bit higher than the rest of the country. California, Florida, those areas. Physical location. If you get a physical location, please understand your office rent is going to be one of your biggest expenses. Okay. Plus utilities. If utilities are not included in your monthly rent, you're going to have to pay for electricity, the water, all of that. You're going to have internet service in your physical location. You're going to still have your website, your email, phone number, business insurance, and your business insurance is going to increase because you have an actual physical location that you're insuring. Okay. So, those are some of the expenses that you can expect from starting this business. So, it's not just getting training and then running out here and doing the services. You have to pay these monthly fees in order to keep this business running. Okay. Building business credit is an essential part of this business because it helps you. It helps you greatly in any business. It helps you to build your business credit. My business made it through the pandemic off of business credit and grants. Okay. In order to get approved for business credit accounts and grants, loans, any funding for your business, these things have to be taken care of. Okay. And that is a big piece of my program, is making sure that every student has a structured business that can get funding, that can get funded. So we make fundable businesses through the Kelly Lab training program. You also need to think about all the supplies that you're going to need for your business. Okay. Physical location, of course, you're going to have more supplies that you need, because you have a physical location. So you're going to need furniture. You're going to need stuff that a mobile collector would not have to invest in. Okay. And I go through this in detail in my program. Here's some of the stuff as a mobile collector that you're going to need. You do need a really good vehicle, but you don't need to go get a brand new vehicle for this. You can literally use your personal vehicle with commercial insurance, of course, to run this business. So you don't have to go get a brand new nothing to make this work. You can hop in whatever car you got right now and go make this money. Okay. It's a very simple process. Now, there are also necessary subscription services that you're going to need. Of course, I mentioned the website in your email, the receptionist app. That's literally what it's called, for clients to sign in on when they come into your location. So, if you got a physical location, that's another monthly subscription that you may need to invest in. Phone line system with multiple extensions. You can go through Access Direct or eVoice. This is for mobile collectors or physical locations as well. This is stuff that is absolutely 100% necessary in order for this business to run properly. So there are monthly fees, monthly stuff that you're going to have to pay for. And that is with any business that you start, not just this business. So before you can do any of what I just went over, you have to get certified. So this is not some course that I just created, out of thin air. This is an actual course where you're getting a certification, where you have to get the certification and become qualified in order to provide these services to people. So your DOT collector certification certifies you in all, or qualifies you in all 50 states to administer DOT drug tests for the next 5 years. So this is a 5-year certification that you're getting through this program. Your DNA collector training gives you the knowledge and industry standard training that you absolutely need in order to administer DNA tests. I know there's a lot of chatter online about not needing DNA test training. Okay, first of all, nowhere in the medical industry are you able to just start providing medical services to people with no training, okay, without detailed training. That's like saying a phlebotomist needs no training because you can learn how to do blood draws on YouTube. Great, great for you. But do you want a phlebotomist collecting your blood with no education, no formal education? So, my DNA collector training gives you the formal education that you need on how DNA testing works, so that you can go out here and make the most money that you possibly can and actually provide good services to your clients. Okay. We don't want people out here collecting people's DNA, okay, collecting sales from people and doing crazy stuff with it. We want people to be trained properly on how to do the collections and how all the different test types works and how DNA test works, period. Okay, you do need training to in order to do that correctly. So here are the stages of the Kelly Lab training program. The first stage is you attending your training. DOT training is held on Saturdays or Sundays via Zoom. The class is 6.5 hours long, and it also includes your required mock exam. So this program includes your mocks, all right, the mocks that are required in order for you to become a qualified collector. This is a rigorous course, y'all. This is not some, slideshow course or whatever. It's highly interactive. There's a lot that goes into it. You do have to study prior to attending the class. This is not something to play around with. I am a very serious instructor. I do not play any games when it comes to training. Kelly Lab course excuse me, Kelly Lab courses are formatted like college level courses, okay? So you are going to college when you enroll into this program, basically. Okay, I'm not playing. But I do teach the class in a way that everyone can understand because I go step by step. I'm a very calm, gentle, patient instructor. Okay, you can ask anybody that has taken my courses. I do this the right way for everyone. Okay. All learning styles are accommodated because I use props. We have videos, we have open discussion, we have interactive activities, and you get step by step guidance in all courses. That is what everybody needs in order to be successful in this industry. You also need to attend your DNA training. DNA training is a hybrid course. That means there's a self paced portion that you have to complete prior to attending the in person course. DNA classes are primarily held on Saturdays, and the class schedule is available to you on this screen right below. So if you scroll down a little bit, you can see the button that says View the Class Schedule, and that will tell you our upcoming class dates. During the DNA class, you will have hands on practice with a custom made Kelly Lab DNA training kit to get the experience that you need before you start collecting DNA specimens in real life. Okay. If you do not like reading, studying, practicing, or following directions, this is not the training program for you. So if you don't like being a student, this is not going to work for you. Okay. This is going to require you to log into a computer or some type of device and actually sit down and take the courses seriously and study, take notes. You're going to have to pay attention in class and you're going to have to pass your exams. So if that's not something that you're interested in, this is not for you. Okay. We want people to take this seriously. I take my program very seriously, and I like for my students to take the program seriously. Stage number 2 is getting your access to Kellyville. Kellyville is my community that I designed to help students step by step on how to set up their business successfully after you have passed your exams and your training has been completed. All students receive the 8 steps after training document and videos to guide you through starting the actual business after you have completed your training. Anytime that you need guidance or have questions during this process, you have access to my business coaches and I through Kellyville. So you can send direct messages, you can post on the wall. There's all types of ways to get in contact with us. Kellyville is robust with information and students from all over the United States that you will be able to connect with and network with. After you have completed the 8 steps after training, you will submit all of your business information for review. Myself, I personally review your entire business structure and provide feedback on what needs to be changed or updated prior to you contacting the labs or TPAs for your lab accounts. Okay. The feedback includes a full website audit and review and so much more. So I personally go through each of my students' business structure and make sure that everybody has followed the steps correctly and that they're set up to be successful. Okay. Because you can't open lab accounts if your stuff is not set up properly. So I'm here to ensure that everything is set up like it's supposed to be before you move on to opening your lab accounts and start going out there and talking to people in the industry. Stage 3 is your lab account setup. All Kelly Lab students are referred to TPAs for lab account setup. Kelly Lab also has the Kelly Lab DNA reseller program, which was designed in partnership with two AABB accredited labs to give Kelly Lab students DNA accounts faster. You will also have access to the state of the art DNA test management software, Kelly CaseLink, that I personally designed to help students manage their DNA test forms and documents in a HIPAA compliant software. Okay, so when you go through the Kelly Lab DNA reseller program, you will have lab accounts set up with two of the AABB accredited labs, and you will get your supplies shipped to you, your kits. And then you will have access to Kelly CaseLink, which is the test management software that I personally designed so that you can manage your test documents in a HIPAA compliant environment. Okay, so that means you're not going to be storing people's personal health information on your personal laptop computer because everything will be loaded into CaseLink and saved there for you where you will have access to it. Your clients will also get access to the CaseLink portal so that they can download their own results. Okay, so that's definitely a step up because your clients will be able to log into a portal and access the results themselves. For your drug testing lab accounts, Kelly Lab has partnerships with the largest TPA companies in the country to help students open their lab accounts and get set up for success. So, through my program, you're not going to have to worry about how do you open your lab accounts. That is already included in the program. So, no matter what course package you choose, lab account setup comes with the package. Stage four is your ongoing support and guidance. Once it's time for you to start servicing clients, Kelly Lab is always here for you. I have personally sat in on some of my students' first collections virtually to ensure that they are handled correctly. So, yes, I will hop on a call with you and make sure that you're prepared once you get your first booking for your first test. Through Kellyville, you will have access to monthly coaching calls and other events to keep you on the right track. We are big on marketing support and host different sessions pertaining to marketing all the time. Through Kellyville, you will also have access to marketing templates, scripts, getting your business certifications. We always post opportunities for collections across the United States. So we'll post stuff like, hey, we have a test that needs to be completed in North Carolina. Who is available? Okay, so you'll have stuff like that that pops up in Kellyville. I do host in person events and so much more through Kellyville. There is also a paid version of Kellyville for $33 a month that goes deeper into topics like how to hire 1099 employees for collections, business plan structuring, how to build your business credit, and where to get funding for your business. So, if you want to get the paid version of Kellyville, that will get you into more robust business coaching. All right. So, what's included in each of the courses? So, for the DOT collector certification course, all of these things that you see listed here are included in that course. All right. So, we're going over the federal regulations, the DOT 49 CFR Part 40. We're going step by step through the collection process. We're going to tell you how to navigate your problem specimens, what your responsibilities are as a collector, all of this stuff is included in the DLT course. In the DNA training, these are the things that we're going over. So this is what you're going to learn when you're in your DNA training class. Okay? There is so much to learn about DNA. I love teaching DNA cuz it's actually my favorite piece of this business model. So the DNA training is there's a lot of information and a lot of good information in there. We even talk about safety as a mobile collector. So I've thought about every single piece of this and I've included it into my training program. All right, so here are the costs of the training program. So we have the DNA only package. So if you choose to do the DNA only package, that means that you are only getting your DNA training and then all the rest of the supportive services with it. So you still get the access to Kellyville. You're going to do the live DNA class and the self-paced course. And you get all this stuff that you see listed here. But just note that this doesn't include drug testing. So you're only training to become a DNA testing company, which is perfectly fine. Then there's the certified package, which includes both the DOT training plus the DNA training courses. And actually, the price is $555 now, but we do have discount codes at the end of this webinar to help you save some money on this package. So the certified package includes both courses for drug testing and for DNA, plus all your other stuff that you see listed here. Okay. Then there's the success package for $3,333. This includes your training classes, plus the big kicker here is the weekly one on one business coaching that you get with me personally for 8 weeks. So we meet 1 hour every week for 8 weeks. You're also getting your website designed, your logo design, and your marketing materials designed for you. So you that takes a piece off. Okay. So let me explain. You cannot start this business without a professional website. It's not going to work if you don't have a website. So if you know for a fact that you're not able to do your own website, you probably need to be trying to invest in the success package where I will be helping you, where I will be designing your website for you and helping you one on one through the business coaching sessions for 8 weeks. Okay. Then the top package is our mastermind package for $7,777. This is 48 hours in person with Stephanie Kelly, plus you get 12 weeks of coaching with me one on one. And plus you get your website designed. In person, you get the training. So our mastermind students now take the training virtually. And then when I come in person, we do a review of the training in person. So we're going to go step by step through the process at your actual location through the mastermind package. So we'll see how a collection needs to move through your location in person. Um, if you need help scouting office spaces, I do help you look for office spaces in your area. I do a complete walkthrough of your office and how to set it up properly. We go out and do marketing together, so we can do that. Or if you're not ready to go out and market while I'm there, we can do mock marketing calls during one of our sessions that we have together. I tell you exactly what supplies you need, furniture for your office, all of this stuff, business paperwork overview. So I help you design your policies and procedures. So all of that is included in a mastermind package. Mastermind is designed to be a hand holding package. So if you need everything done for you while I'm holding your hand through the process, we're working together as a partnership, then mastermind is for you. Okay. If you need a lot of one on one support, get the mastermind package. Okay. Let's go through some of the FAQs that I get. So, are the mock demonstrations included in the DOT training? Yes. Our DOT course is live and it is 6.5 hours long with a 1 hour study break and a lunch break before we do the mock exam. Okay. So, yes, the mocks are included in our training program. Does this certificate cover all 50 states? Yes, your certificate will give you the ability to conduct DLT drug screens and DNA testing in all 50 states. Even if you travel or vacate to another state, you can do collections while you are there. So you are covered in all 50 states to do these collections. When does the certificate expire? The DOT certificate will expire in 5 years. The only time you have to take refresher training within the 5 year period is if you make a fatal error or mistake while conducting the screens. This will result in you taking refresher training, and refresher training does come with a cost. Okay. The DNA certificate is good for a lifetime unless there are uh, regulations that are updated through AABB. Okay. Is the course live or is it self paced? The DLT course is a 6.5 hour live course over Zoom. So you will complete the regulations training and the mock collections all in the 6.5 hour time period. The DNA course has a self paced portion and the system that I created and designed. So I designed the course myself. It is fabulous. Okay. It's highly interactive. There's activities that you have to complete throughout that training. And then plus you're getting the live training via Zoom with your hands-on practice with your custom kit that you're going to have to buy in order to attend class. So that's another point I want to make. You do have to order a collector kit in order to attend the training classes. It does not come with the price of your package. Okay, the kits are separate. The kits go as low as $20 all the way up to $200, depending on the variation of the kit that you decide to get for training. Okay, because some of the kits include the physical copies of the manuals. For DOT training, you do get access to the digital manual, but the physical copy manual has to be ordered separately with your training kit if you want to do it that way. Do you have to take an exam? Yes, the DOT exam is your mock collections demonstration where you will have to demonstrate that you know how to complete 5 collections to me, the instructor. You will get a full overview and training prior to conducting your mock demonstrations. Okay, so you have everything that you need in order to make this work, you guys, in order to pass your mocks. I give you so much study materials, okay? Step by step instructions. I got videos, I got everything, okay? The DNA course includes an exam that you will have to pass with an 80% in order to complete the course and receive your certificate. What days are the DOT courses held? DOT class is usually held every other Sunday or maybe once or twice a month on a Sunday. Once you purchase your bundle or your course package, you will be auto enrolled into the next available class date. You can change your class date if that date does not work for you. Okay. You can just send an email to request a different date. Right below on this screen, if you scroll down, you can see the view the class schedule button and click that, and it will take you to the Kelly Lab training class schedule for 2025. If it is not 2025, then it has been updated to the current year. How many days will you be in person under the mastermind package? Typically, I will spend at least 48 hours with you in person under the mastermind package, but I may extend my trip if necessary to make sure that you are all set up for success before I leave. Okay, here we are. Here is your discount codes, you guys. I'm telling you, these discount codes don't last always, okay? The B Day 33 is for right now while I'm recording this. This is April or May of 2025. This B Day 33 is available right now. So you can get $222 off of all course packages right now during this time. If you are viewing this and it is beyond May of 2025, it's probably expired. So you can always use New Year 25 for 111 off of all course packages. So if you're watching this right now and it is May 2025, uh type this discount code in and enroll in these courses right now because that is a huge discount that I do not offer any other time of the year. Okay, 222 off the course packages is you need to get in right now. um right below on the screen, if you scroll down, you will see the course packages that are available. Click the enroll button, type in the discount code during checkout, and get your $222 off right now if you are in May 2025. Okay. Beyond that, you can get your 111 off by using New Year 25 at checkout. Please note that I do have Zezzle, you guys, available during checkout so that you can make payments. So if you use Zezzle, you can start your courses right away, even though you're making payments on it through Zezzle. Okay. So definitely use your resources and get enrolled, you guys. This is a life changing opportunity. These are billion-dollar industries that never shut down. So this is a golden opportunity. You don't have to quit your job to do this. You can do this part-time on top of your job because a lot of your appointments are going to be in the evenings and on the weekends. So this is perfect for somebody that's working full time that needs to supplement their income. Okay. Remember what I said earlier, an extra $300 is life changing for some people. And that's one DNA test. That's just one DNA test a week. Okay. All right, you guys. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And now you have a better understanding of how this industry works and what it takes to get started in this business. If you have any questions, you can send an email to info at kellylabservices.com, or you can always call me at 888 652 3949 extension 4. So 888-652-3949 extension 4. I almost forgot my phone number. But yeah, you guys, you can contact me, you can message me, you can call me. Literally, it's going to be me that's going to answer the phone or answer your messages. So if you ever have any questions and you want to speak directly to the source, you can do that. Okay. That's how open I am about this. So contact me whenever you need to with any questions that you have, and I will see you soon in your classes.